Hi everyone, and welcome to the 17th episode of CRINGECAST. I'm your host, Mr. Luzerish, and joining with me today is...
The Kawaii Wrestler.
Yep, and today we don't have much to talk about. We don't have anything. We usually go out and watch a movie before these, but we haven't actually, even though we haven't been on in a week, we didn't watch anything this week.
Yeah.
So I think we're just going to talk. We'll just figure out what we'll talk about. There have been some expos that have been going on, Comic-Cons going on, so we're going to talk about some stuff revolving around that. So actually, though, we did watch something together just now, which is we watched the Hey Arnold movie teaser and the Rocko's Modern Life movie teaser. So what are your thoughts on those?
I mean, I never watched Rocko's Modern Life too much, but it's It's a thing that a lot of people are excited about. But I watch a lot of Hey Arnold though, and it's just a great show. So I'm just really hyped that it's the ending that we were supposed to get back, in 2004, I guess, is when it was canceled. So the fact that it's coming back now is pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say that Hey Arnold was a pretty important show for being sort of a more realistic show about, kids in the city and their problems and everything.
Yeah, just a very grounded, real show with no frills or anything. It's just really entertaining. You have great characters. Everyone knows all the character models and stuff.
Yeah, they're all very distinct how they look and everything. Even though I must have watched it a couple times when I was a kid, but I don't remember much about watching it. I actually remember watching Rocko's Modern Life more, but the thing is, it's I remember watching one or the other more, but I don't remember anything about them, which is kind of a funny way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like. I've heard a lot of good things about Hey Arnold, and I'll definitely have to go back and watch some of the episodes to get prepared for this film whenever it comes out. Do they mention at all when it'll come out?
Oh, yeah, it's November, I've heard.
No.
Man, a lot of stuff is coming out in the fall. A lot of cartoons and stuff.
So there's gonna be that, and so that's it's gonna be the ending of the show, and it's sort of the same kind of deal as Samurai Jack in a way, right?
Yeah, but yeah, it's just a movie that was planned, from earlier, but now it's just kind of sad though, because with how well the animation is and all the new life it kind of has, maybe they could renew it for more seasons, because I don't know. It'll just be really fun to see it come back though. But as long as you get something though, that's better than nothing.
Well, I think the thing is, it depends on first of all how the movie does, and then if the creators feel like they've got anything to talk about. Like I said, I didn't watch Hey Arnold, but I do feel like they could bring it back. I mean, the thing is, I wonder what would be the best route to go though, because the thing about Hey Arnold's stories are that though they kind of revolve around city life, they're at least somewhat grounded. They're relatively timeless. I mean, some of them do have to do with certain events in history, but and I wonder if they brought it back now, because the thing is, a lot of times we can be critical about shows like the Powerpuff Girls for sort of modernizing in a bad way, by just having memes and twerking and smartphones and stuff, but not doing them well. And with the Hey Arnold movie, they've already hinted that this one will take place. The movie will take place in modern day.
Yeah, well, at least one of the characters in the previews, one of the girls I don't know the name of, she has a smartphone, which is obviously it's kind of world breaking in a way, because the movie only takes place a year or so after the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows what the deal with that is? I mean, knowing just kind of what the show was and the creator Craig, I think he'll just keep that on a minimum.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that the movie will keep that on, not do anything bad with it. But what I was going to say is I wonder if they did bring the show back, whether it's a good idea or not, to talk about, issues this might be an issue you laugh at, or some people might not think it's a real issue, but stuff like cyberbullying and stuff. Yeah, because you could see a show like that tackling, subjects that sort of only happen like that in the modern day. And I wonder if stuff like that would be okay to add and would be tasteful to the show or not.
Well, yeah, I mean, Hey Arnold has been kind of a serious show about that in general. So yeah, if it all depends on how it would be handled.
Yeah.
I guess the real question is whether the creator Craig Bartlett, whether whether like working on the show again has like sparked interest, or if he just like wants to do this one-time thing and then have it be over with.
Yeah, I guess it's all depends on the creator, but knowing Nickelodeon, if it does really well, they'll probably bastardize it and have it go on for 15 seasons.
Well, it wouldn't be worse than Cartoon Network though, with Teen Titans Go.
The thing is, at least Teen Titans Go isn't gonna go on for as long as SpongeBob.
We don't know that. There's like reruns every fucking day.
I mean, I guess I do say that now, but still, I expect it not to go on as long as SpongeBob.
I mean, how long has it been out? Like 5 years? Something crazy.
Feels like that long.
Maybe more like 4.
Probably not 5. I remember it not being out when we were graduating, so it must have at the most been 4 because we graduated in 13, 17 now. So at the most, I think it's been 4 years. I remember being excited for it when it first was announced. But obviously the show.
Then you saw the character models and realized, this is
not
11
even that.
minute.
Actually, the shorts that preceded the show were rather funny in my opinion. There was one where they're fighting. I forget his name, but he's the guy who controls time, and it was more comedy oriented. And there was actually not that episode. There was a short where they were fighting Red X, and there was this joke where Beast Boy keeps saying. I think he's got to be Jason Todd, which I thought was funny, because of course Jason Todd is Red Hood, and then there was a character named Red X in the Teen Titans original series.
Well, the episode how it was Robin who was Red X.
Yeah, but later on you might have forgotten,
right.
but in a later season,
and,
another guy comes back. He steals the suit and becomes Red X.
Wow, that was a good episode because that left on a cliffhanger where.
Well, you never found out who Red X really was.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I thought it was a good joke because it referenced the comics too.
Right.
Beast Boy's kind of breaking the fourth wall, and he's like, "It's got to be Jason Todd." And in a way, I guess Red X kind of is Jason Todd, just like how Slade is kind of the same thing as. Oh my God, I forgot. Deathstroke.
Right.
Yeah. Slade is kind of a Teen Titans version of Deathstroke. So, yeah, but I think this new movie is going to be good. It's just like, Samurai Jack, where they get to finally end it off. I think the advantage, though, is with Samurai Jack, it needed, a whole season's worth of episodes. Arguably more. I think we would say that it needed at least 1 or 2 more episodes.
Well, it had 10, so it needed like 13 probably.
Yeah. But with this, it was always planned to be a movie. So, it
TV
being a movie
yeah.
now, I'm sure it'll capture exactly what they originally wanted for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no style, no, like, heavier rating or anything. It's just, what it was always supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. And so, the other thing that Nickelodeon announced, which I don't think they had hinted at before, do you know if... I mean, I'm not a huge Rocko's Modern Life fan, so maybe they had hinted at it before. Because I know they kind of made people were making somewhat of a big deal about Hey Arnold coming back, and they did that Invader Zim teaser on their site, YouTube that people were talking about. And so, but I don't remember hearing anything about Rocko's Modern Life until you just mentioned it a couple minutes ago.
Me neither. I think the show... When did it come out? Like early 90s?
Yeah, I think it was an earlier show. It definitely, just the style and everything kind of reeks of the 90s in a good way.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely very, very of its time. And that was like the joke of like the teaser.
Yeah. So I think what they're doing is this is going to be like a TV movie. It's called like Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling, and it's about them sort of. They're in modern days, but unlike the Hey Arnold movie where they don't make a kind of a point of noting it. Even though it's like weird and universe breaking, here they're like they make a note of it right away. It's like the whole joke is that Rocko, who's a very 90s cartoon, is now having to deal with the 2010s. Which, there are lots of good, jokes about how I think fast-paced life is now. I think that was sort of the main joke that they were trying to have, that Rocko can't sort of understand all these, Starbucks at every corner and a new iPhone comes out every 2 seconds.
And everyone makes a big deal about it.
Yeah, and that food truck joke I thought was really funny too. Yeah. A pizza taco. Because food trucks are like that. They're always like really weird foods and stuff.
Pizza taco was like a hot dog taco.
A hot dog taco and then a taco. That was good.
We're going to have a food truck then, making tacos.
Yeah. I'm going to New York this weekend, so maybe I'll get to go to some food trucks.
Cool.
But yeah, so I thought that one was cool too. I remember, yeah, like I said, watching Rocko's Modern Life a little bit more, and I've always liked the look of the show, looking back on it. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Like it's like good animation, like a good design. It's just still dated, though. I think.
Yeah, but I think in a good way. Yeah. So,
there's like bad stuff that's dated, and then there's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's still like, yeah.
So, I guess the question I have right now though is do you feel like Nickelodeon's doing too many reboots all at once or revivals? Because they're doing Hey Arnold. They're doing.
These are all shows that didn't have like conclusive endings.
They're all shows that people wanted to bring back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm not sure about Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be like a big Invader Zim special to kind of capture.
Yeah,
all,
and people have since it was canceled. People have been there's been
right. Yeah.
How many online petitions have you seen of? Emo kids saying bring back Invader Zim.
Yeah, it is a cult classic.
And it's, it still sells. You can still see people wearing Invader Zim t-shirts.
Just go a Hot Topic.
Just go to Hot Topic, and there's all this girl merchandise. And with Hey Arnold, there wasn't anything that was supposed to happen, so it makes sense. Rocko's Modern Life, it looks like it's going to be good, so I'm not complaining. But I feel like all these revivals at once is a little weird for them to be doing 3, kind of like back to back to back.
I think the Invader Zim one will come out like a year after the other ones.
Yeah.
Because they announced it like a year after the other ones. So, but yeah, at least you have like 2 that are pretty close. But it makes sense though. Like, these are beloved, these are beloved properties by people that have grown up and spend the money and, and they're not like putting like full seasons of stuff behind them. They're just, doing these movies that are relatively easier or cheaper to produce, I assume. So
yeah. So I guess another thing to talk about is, well, they didn't do Danny Phantom. I'm sure you're upset that. Yeah. No, over Rocko's Modern Life, I'm sure you would have preferred Danny Phantom personally.
Danny Phantom ended like 9 years ago, so like comparatively, it's like already like much newer anyway. So
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
So
and yeah, like they already kind of ended the show, so like if they wanted to bring it back, they'd have to like change up stuff.
Yeah, like Butch Hartman has been hinting it would have to be like a time skip maybe.
Yeah, probably.
So I guess the other question I have is it seems I'm not gonna say that it's for sure yet because of course we have to actually see these films and these whatever they're gonna do with Invader Zim to see how good they are, but it seems like Cartoon Network they're kind of 1 out of 3 with the revivals. They got a good one with Samurai Jack,
but that wasn't even Cartoon Network. It's Adult Swim.
Yeah, Adult Swim. I'm personally gonna lump the 2 together. That's just me. But they did a good one with Samurai Jack. But then you also got Teen Titans Go and Powerpuff Girls. So how do you feel about, what do you think Cartoon Network's doing that Nickelodeon seems, at least right now, is doing better?
I don't know. How about like getting the original creators back for the
That's a big one, shows. I
think. Like Craig McCracken, was he even like invited to do?
Well, I think he was. I think he just said that he actually just didn't want to.
Yeah, right.
Well, the thing, because I remember watching a Rebel Taxi video where Rebel Taxi was talking about how with with stuff like Courage the Cowardly Dog and what was the other one that he mentioned? It might have been Dexter's Lab or something. I forget off the top of my head. But the creators of those shows, they want to come back and do more. They want to keep... the other one was Kids Next Door. So like with Kids Next Door and Courage the Cowardly Dog, the creators are willing, if our Cartoon Network would approach them, they would be willing to do more. And in fact, I know with Codename Kids Next Door, he actually did an animatic for what he would perceive the new series to be like. And I thought it was really cool and funny. So I love to see that. I was a big Kids Next Door fan. But, Craig McCracken, there's a clip where back in the day, back when Powerpuff Girls was being made in the 90s even, or 2000s, he said they approached him for another season, and he said, nah, we're going to be done after the movie. I don't want to do any more.
Yeah, right.
And I guess now he even said that he still didn't want to do any more, so they just had these new people come on.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Powerpuff Girls is that it's like a very successful series that really like had kind of could do everything it could, and then you try make it come back. Like I feel like these other shows still have like unfinished business.
And well, the other thing is, Powerpuff Girls is I think the most marketable of all of them. It's just easy to sell all these cute girls as toys and stuff. And when it came out, there was a huge deal with the this fashion brand Moschino, this overpriced, you can buy a handbag for $800 that's shaped like Bubbles' face. How about that? You can buy $1,000 leather jackets, like real fucking like French calf leather out here. They have pictures of gangsta Looney Tunes on the back. Yeah. I love Moschino too. Oh, I love Jeremy Scott, but none of you know who that is. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I think it seems that with Cartoon Network, they're doing these more for cash grabs than for, actually listening to the fans and what they want. Yeah. Cartoon Network is kind of able to survive, and it's still kind of loved because when their new shows are always at least decent. They usually are good at putting out new stuff. So while they've got this really bad Powerpuff Girls reboot and Teen Titans Go is time.
I mean, I guess Cartoon Network is like kind of waning though. Like they're being like Steven Universe has kind of been their last big hit, and of course Gumball is still good, but it doesn't get the recognition it kind of deserves. Exactly. So, but Adventure Time is just petered out and regular show. So it's like Cartoon Network has okay stuff, but it's fading, and nothing's really stopping it anytime soon. Well, and like Disney XD is like coming balls out right now. Have you seen like the Star vs. Forces of Evil movie that came out?
I haven't, but I've heard more and more buzz about Star, so I'm guessing that.
Well, it's pretty much just like it's essentially just like the finale of like the first two seasons, I would say. Mm-hmm. Kind of like all the plot points of the first two seasons kind of wrapped up, and it was cool. So, and then DuckTales revival. Then you have like this like Nickelodeon. Yeah, and the Loud House too. That's had pretty good buzz.
Yeah, right? I've heard a lot of people say good things about the Loud House.
Yeah, so it's like you just have the rebalancing where Cartoon Network was on top for like 5-6 years, and now it's slowly the balances are shifting, and Disney I think is poised to really take the spot right now.
The elements are it's just like they're in harmony. I don't want to quote Avatar, but like.
Well, everything changed when the fire was intact.
It's just like everything is coming back. It's all evening out now, huh? Yeah. It's a funny way to think about it, but you know what else? Another revival that you may not be as interested in, but I am definitely very excited for, is that Toonami announced that they're gonna do the second and third season of FLCL.
Right, yeah, you mentioned that a couple times already.
I think I mentioned that, but I think it's another thing important to bring up. I mean, they haven't shown, I think, enough.
But the difference is, of course, is that that's an anime from Japan, and Toonami itself isn't making it, right?
Well, they are. It's not like the Japanese studio just decided to do it. I think it's that Toonami is working with them so they can get it. Created together. So I don't know if they have any creative input. Probably not. I would assume that they wouldn't, but it's possible. But I think at the very least they're giving money to it, and they're helping it get produced and everything. And so it's gonna be 2 more seasons of FLCL. Actually, 2 seasons. But the thing about FLCL is that the first season is only 6 episodes. So that means I think 12 episodes is what they're planning to roll out. Yeah. It's crazy to think about that they're tripling the series length with this.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's just the problem working on small numbers. Yeah. That, like 1 to going from 1 to 2 is a 100% increase.
That's true. So, you're doubling it, but still.
But it's 6? Only like, but if you're adding like 1 episode to like 99 up to 100, it's the same episode. It's just. Content.
I don't know, but it's just like if you think about it, it's like they're going from 6 episodes, which was a very concise beginning and end. Mm-hmm. I can tell you what each of those episodes are about, summarize them pretty quickly. And there's not a lot of animes where you could summarize every episode that easily off the top of your head. Yeah. and they're gonna go all the way to 18, and it seems like they're making it a whole new cast of characters. According to the trailer, there's only gonna be one returning character, which if you watch the show, it kind of makes sense because it's a story about growing up. In the first 6 episodes, the main character, by the end, he's sort of grown up. So I think these new episodes are gonna be about new cast of people who maybe are doing their own thing.
That's good. I feel like old characters can sometimes be a crutch and continuation.
I guess that's true. I mean, my thing about FLCL is it has a lot of characters that I really, really love that I would love to see come back, but they haven't hinted at any of them coming back or anything, so I really don't know if it's going to happen. And what I would say is sort of the main character's love interest is the character that's coming back in this second one. Maybe not love interest. She's sort of the reason. She sort of drives the plot forward more than the protagonist does. But, I'm not as huge a fan of her as some of the other more minor characters or some of the supporting roles. But we'll see how it turns out. I mean, the first 6 episodes of that show are just... That's one of the animes that I can say did change my life. As dorky as it is to say, like, I don't know. I mean, you could say about a couple different animes. Like, I could say that about Pokemon, too. So,
I mean, SpongeBob. SpongeBob changed my life.
Yeah, SpongeBob, I would say, changed my life. There are lots of, cartoons that changed my life. But FLCL, when I first saw it, it was just, like, mind-blowing to me. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And I think Adult Swim went on record at saying at one point that they think, in their opinion, it's the best anime they've showed, which is a bold statement because they've showed Cowboy Bebop on Toonami also, which some would say is the greatest anime of all time.
Yeah, right.
But we're just getting all these revivals, and I think they're looking good. I'm a little skeptical just because of how bad Cartoon Network did handle 2 of them. But it looks like they're not going to be bad.
But I mean, Toonami is run by Adult Swim right now, right? So
yeah,
Adult Swim is very separate. It's like they're connected financially, but like when it comes to like content and like,
I feel like Adult Swim, they kind of it's kind of like they get to do wherever. Whereas with Cartoon Network, it's pretty like constricted. Yeah. It's crazy to think about. I mean, Adult Swim just puts out whatever the fuck it wants.
Like, yeah, I watched some video like on Adult Swim and how like they're like a lot of the creators like are not unionized or something, or they're just not restricted like the same way that like Cartoon Network people are. So yeah,
I mean, some of the stuff doesn't even get animated in like animation programs. Like I think Aqua Teen Hunger Force was animated 100% in like After Effects and Photoshop. Which is crazy to think about because if you use those programs, they're definitely not for,
animation.
They're not for, especially not, 30-minute long, an entire series worth of animation. After Effects, you can animate maybe like a 1-2 minute video or whatever, look pretty good, but for a whole fucking series, it's definitely not for that. But they did it with such, After Effects is, I think, easier for people to learn, so it's kind of a cheap method of getting stuff done.
Yeah.
And they had that. I haven't actually watched it, but I think Rebel Taxi talked about. They had this show called 12 Ounce Mouse, which was like the worst animated show of all time.
Yeah, I think Mr. entered a review on that.
Review of that, yeah, because like Adult Swim just doesn't give a shit. They'll put whatever out as long as it's funny to them. It's really crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, and then you have stuff like Rick and Morty, which is great. Yeah, animated.
So I guess you would say that you can't because I think of the 3 big ones as Nickelodeon, Disney XD, and Cartoon Network. But you're saying with Cartoon Network I can't include Toonami because I would personally
because Toonami. First of all, Toonami is just anime.
I mean not Toonami. Anime. I meant to say Adult Swim. I'm sorry.
Adult Swim just isn't. It's
too
so different. Yeah,
different
like first of all, it's like the only other like adult animated market is like Comedy Central.
Yeah,
and I guess Fox, even then
to an extent.
Yeah, nah.
Well, I'd say by technicality those are like Bob's Burgers and Family Guy, but despite the fact that those are shows I think lots of kids watch too. I definitely watched all those.
They're
shows
definitely very tame for our standards.
Yeah, but I would personally say if you were gonna say there are for adult animated networks, I would personally put Fox's animation, section in there. Even though all the other thing is those shows get shown on lots of other networks too.
Like even Cartoon Network, like they have Family Guy reruns and stuff.
Yeah, they have Family Guy, and I
even
think they
King
have
of the Hill,
American Dad. Yeah, King of the Hill. But I would still personally just to, if.
Yeah, right. Yeah, technically it's there, but like the community that watches like Adult Swim and Comedy Central don't watch. Wait, Archer, is that Comedy Central? I think.
Oh.
Or is that Fox?
It might be on both actually.
Or like FX maybe.
I think it's FX actually, but either way.
Yeah, like I guess stuff saying. On FX would probably count more like that.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying though. I think out of those three, Adult Swim is definitely the strongest. I mean, Comedy Central.
Really, I mean, South Park.
I mean, that's the biggest out of all three, but that's like saying SpongeBob is bigger than anything Cartoon Network has.
Yeah, right. Than everything Cartoon Network has.
Then it's true. I guess SpongeBob is bigger, but it's kind of been going on forever, and it's not like they have.
Well, yeah,
that's all they had. It wouldn't be enough, and that's kind of all that Comedy Central has, as far as I know.
Yeah, well, there's that one Moonbeam.
But that's not like that doesn't have really a good following. It's probably gonna end up being a cult show, I'd think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Moonbeam City or whatever it's called, like the very
like
80s. I gotta check that out. I love how it looks.
Yeah, it's gotten good reviews, I think.
Yeah, I definitely gotta check that out. But yeah, I mean, I guess actually, if I were to say three, you might even put Netflix up there because they produce some good adult shows like BoJack and F is for Family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Yeah, BoJack is obviously.
I mean, I only named two, but those are two pretty good shows in my opinion, and they definitely have people who like them. I actually got to still watch the second season of F is for Family. I'm really slipping on that.
Yeah, I haven't watched either.
Oh, you haven't watched the first season either?
No, the second season.
Oh yeah, I like the first season, so definitely gotta watch the second season.
Funny. He took the key. I remember. Just a joke where he takes the keys and then he puts them down. He takes the keys from like his asshole manager, and he's like, "Are you gonna throw them?" It's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And he just puts them down in the car.
Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, that show I gotta definitely watch the second season of that. But so yeah, we're getting all these revivals and stuff, and I think Nickelodeon is gonna do a good job with their three.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I said that about Powerpuff Girls before that first couple episodes came out, so I don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
I said about Teen Titans too.
The Powerpuff Girls and Teen Titans are like they're the same characters, but they're different shows. Both of the Nickelodeon ones that we've seen, it's like the same show. It's by the same creators. Like it's like trying to be the same show that once was.
Because I've heard people critique the new Powerpuff Girls by saying they should have done something like Teen Titans Go, where they named it like Powerpuff Girls 2016 or whatever.
But yeah, that would have been like, because like Powerpuff Girls, like the new show, like
it's too different.
I admit, like I haven't watched it, but like from what you get from it is like it has like kind of the same art style in a sense, but not. It's like at least like Teen Titans Go is like branded as like a new show,
and it's completely
and it is, like, different. Yeah. So like even if like you don't like it, you can still like.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people defend Go by saying, if you're comparing it to the old show, you're already off the bat wrong.
Yeah,
with
because
it's different. It's supposed to be a comedy.
But with like the Powerpuff Girls, it's not obvious.
It's too close to just feeling like it's supposed to be. They were trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, right.
That's one of the bigger critiques I've seen of that too, is that it's too close to the original without being different enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you either try to be the old show or you try to do something different enough.
Yeah, you don't. They kind of just middle ground it.
Yeah. Middle ground is always the worst. No half measures.
Yeah, not with that type of. Not with reboots. It's like, I don't know. And then you got reboots where they just do the same shit. Wasn't there like a reboot of? I never seen it, but there was like a reboot of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, where it was like a shot-for-shot remake just with new actors.
Gee, that's so stupid.
And I mean, the thing is, like, at that point, why even make the fucking movie if it's literally the same thing?
Yeah, like,
the only medium I think that makes sense is in video games where you like make like with the new Crash Bandicoot title where it's the same fucking games but it's just new.
But but there's like, like the graphics like are better and like that actually improves the experience. But like going from like old black and white to like new color, that doesn't really improve the experience usually.
Yeah, because definitely not enough.
Especially if you don't like change the movie at all.
At all, yeah.
Like honestly, it'll be worse because like the old sensibilities of like old movies, you would still be making like the same tone and stuff in the new movie, but like putting like new actors and stuff.
Yeah, and the thing is, then you would compare it way too much because at least if it's like a different reboot, you can say, hey, this actor took a different spin on it. But if an actor's got to say the exact same lines, unless that motherfucker is really talented, it's gonna be hard for people just not to be like, hey, this is too different. You're not enough like the original guy. You're never gonna be him.
And not to mention that Psycho is like a masterpiece. Anyway.
Yeah. It's like everyone. I haven't even seen the film personally.
Yeah, no.
I'm not a huge movie guy, but everyone knows the scene, the shower scene, and everything.
Yeah, well, the whole movie is great. Yeah.
Most people know the twist and everything.
Yeah. Have you seen the like the trailer, non-trailer of it?
No.
Pretty much, it's funny. Like back in the 50s, like Alfred Hitchcock, the way he sold the movie was he was just like there in the trailer.
I think I know.
And like he's walking through the house and he's describing like the stuff.
Movie, yeah.
Or like just like teasing, scenes and stuff.
That's crazy.
And then like it then ends.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that. Like trailers used to be like that, where it would be like someone like selling it to you, as opposed to now where it. Although I don't know.
I mean, it's selling in a different way.
I wonder if they're like trailer nerds, because the thing about Hollywood is all the trailers are always the same, which is like a problem. I think it's always just like the music, like it's like a popular song in the background. It's like, oh, it's getting you pumped up, and then like, oh, here's a joke. The music shuts off for a second for this joke. Or there's like a DJ scratch or something like, were you what? And then like it continues. There's always like these fades to black or like text swooshing.
It all depends on the era which it's from, of course.
I don't know, but the thing is, like, we've been so I think we've always praised the Star Wars Force Awakens trailer for being that trailer to me is like iconic. Like I remember that trailer so well, and I remember seeing so many parodies of it and everything. People were talking about that trailer.
Wait, which one though?
The one that used the original the music from the Return of the Jedi, and it started off with John Boyega.
Oh yeah.
I've seen people use that, parody that trailer all over the place. That's an iconic trailer at this point, in my opinion. But other movie trailers, I think they just blend into the rest of it. But I don't know.
That's just a sensibility.
Maybe I'll become like
remember how like in the 90s you had like the voiceover stuff.
That's true.
But you only get voiceover in like comedy movies now. Very
and even then,
way.
not even that often. I would love to see. Maybe I should do that. There should be a YouTube channel that's like dedicated to just talking about film trailers and reviewing film trailers instead of actual films. I'd love to see a channel like that.
Well, I mean, awesome. People already do like trailer reactions and stuff.
Well, reactions, but I'd like to see like in depth, like talking, like being like, someone be like, man, what was a good movie that came out recently? Like someone just being like, the Spider-Man Homecoming movie is great, but the trailer is shit, and just like stuff you don't realize. And he's like, look at this. This just ruins this shit. It's like, just like, look at this. This scene's like fucking awful or whatever. I'd love to see like a channel like that. That'd be great. Just like a guy just talking about trailers. It's such like a nerdy thing to like, but I'd love that. But yeah, and then one thing I wanted to talk about was how fucking pumped I am for this new Kingdom Hearts 3 game. Now, you've never played a Kingdom Hearts game, right?
No.
Man, you gotta get on that.
Hey, you have to get on a lot of stuff.
It's true. It's true. It's a great game. Great game series. And they're announcing that they're gonna do Toy Story in the new one, which is something I'm hyped for because Toy Story was, it was a big film for me as a kid. It still is.
And then DLC will be Monsters Inc.
I mean, the thing is, now that they've got because they're running out of movies. Honestly, they were really, they hadn't done anything. I think they hadn't gone as far as doing Princess and the Frog. pretty much every like 2D animated Disney movie before that they had done. I think they hadn't done the Jungle Book either, although there was a level that was canceled that was going to be the Jungle Book at one point. And now it felt like they were really running out of films, but now that they're doing Pixar films, I'm all up for another Kingdom Hearts after this, even if it takes another 300 years or whatever. Because that's what everyone says about Kingdom Hearts 3. It took like too fucking long. Man, Kingdom Hearts 2 came out back in like, it must have been like more than a decade or something ago, so it's crazy to think about, like 2004, 2006.
Yeah, that's crazy how like movies like are pretty consistent. Like if they're gonna make a sequel, it's gonna come out fairly soon, usually, unless it's Avatar, like Blue People Avatar. They're actually making like 4 sequels to that. And
I thought it was going to be the one film. I didn't actually know they were going to play.
No, it's going to come out. It's been like pushed back, and it's like going to come out in 2018. Like, so fucking 9 years after the first one, it's going to come out with like 3 back to back. Everyone's like so over the movie anyway. Yeah. So it's like no one's like gonna watch it. I think.
Maybe, but it was such a big thing when it came out. I felt like I wasn't really a big fan of it, but
it was okay. I mean, it was just a fad that caught on.
I mean, it looked good. It did for its time. I wonder if it still looks even half as good now. I think people say it still holds up relatively well.
I think people just realize it's just like Pocahontas and
it's not really a very
Atlantis,
solid story, That's the problem with it. Yeah. Oh, Atlantis, that would make a good Kingdom Hearts level.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet.
They haven't had a Chicken Little level, but they did have Chicken Little as a summon, so they really have done a lot. So I'm surprised.
Yeah, Atlantis was a good movie. Like, the fact that it was like Avatar, like,
it's
8 years before
Atlantis is like a great movie. It's so underrated also for like a Disney and that was like a movie I had a little like meme with my friends. Did I tell you about the paperclips thing?
Yeah, right. It's like paperclips.
big ones. We when in middle school I like turned that into a meme with my friends. It was paperclips, oddly shaped ones, like, and we'd always like do weird hand motions because in the movie he goes paperclips big ones and then he holds out his hand like a foot apart, so it's like a huge paperclip, and then we'd always go like paperclips, oddly shaped ones, and like put our hands in like a weird position, or like paperclips regular size ones. It's like a really dumb joke. I don't know why we like did that. We'd always just like do that with movie quotes. That's how memes start though. It's just you hear something and like it sticks in your head for some reason.
Yeah, like there's like the one meme with that character right now, like, well, like, or at least that's been out a while. Like, do you know what it is? I
don't know. He's like the demolition guy. He's like the best character in the movie though.
It's like boom, there goes your childhood.
Yeah, I think I have seen that one. Yeah, but I love Atlantis. That movie was great. Yeah, and I'd love to see more of that too if they ever bring that into Kingdom Hearts. I just want to see more Kingdom Hearts.
Emperor's New Groove, have they done a level on
that? They haven't done that either.
Jeez, like these are like favorite movies, like everyone loves them.
I know,
or at least like definitely Emperor's New Groove.
They've definitely done like all the Renaissance films. Like they've done the first game itself had Aladdin, Tarzan, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Little Mermaid, Halloween Town, Nightmare Before Christmas is what I mean to say.
The thing about Emperor's New Groove is that it's a legitimately popular movie that like everyone knows and everyone likes.
Yeah.
Like they could really make. I mean, I don't know. Like obviously, just like a video game level or something, but.
I mean, it has to be like. I think it has to like. They have to fit fighting in it somehow, but they've done it with stuff that doesn't really make sense. I mean,
you have the whole jungle and stuff.
Yeah,
to work with,
that's true.
And the whole Inca.
I guess you'd have to fight Yzma at the end. Maybe Krunk like helps her. Yeah, that'd be a fun battle actually. Now that I think about it.
Destroy them.
I can hear the Kingdom Hearts music. Dun 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 dun. And like it's like the zoom in or whatever. All you people who like have actually played Kingdom Hearts know what I'm talking about. Like the zoom in on Sora and his idle animation looking around with the Keyblade, and then like the fight starts and you're like smacking Yzma with the Keyblade and shit. That'd be awesome. Yeah, and she like throws potions at you.
Yeah, right. Or like transform into different stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool actually.
Yeah, right. Like if you have like different phases where she transforms into different monsters and stuff, and like with different abilities.
Yeah, now I think about it, that would be a cool ass level. I don't know. It's a disappointment. They probably won't do it. Yeah, I mean they've done. I don't know what else do they need to do. I mean they said they're gonna do Big Hero 6 and Tangled now, which I think is a good idea.
Wait, what was that first movie you said?
Big Hero 6.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've forgotten that. It's like that movie like has such little impact, and it's only like 3 years old, and like already it's like no one remembers it.
But I haven't forgotten Honey Lemon's sweet ass.
But seriously though, like who cares about that movie like 3 years later?
You know what's weird? It felt like people were really like into it when it came out, and like I felt like people were really talking about it for a while, and now it's kind of faded away. And I think I remember it good. I remember it fondly, so I wonder if it would be worth a watch again.
I think that's just like why. I think it's just like a weird phenomenon where like some movies are good and people talk about them, but they just get forgotten about.
I don't know. I feel like it's one of those movies that also maybe needs a sequel too, but I don't know.
There is like supposed to be like Disney XD is like making a series.
Yeah, I actually did hear about that. Right. I don't know. We'll see.
But I don't think they'll revive any.
I feel like it's a good show for a series. It's created by the same group of people that created Ben 10 and Generator Rex.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The original Ben 10 was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Generator Rex, I think, was like their best thing. It's just like kind of gone.
I never watched it, but yeah. I always liked Ben 10 when I was younger. I was definitely watching a lot of that, and yeah, I don't know, but I would like to see if the Big Hero 6. If I hear some buzz around it, maybe I'll watch it. That's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. And then you have DuckTales from Disney XD too. Yeah, Disney's really like doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think everyone's sort of like they've decided they have to play catch up with Cartoon Network, like you said. Yeah, like they've seen that Cartoon Network is weak now, so they're hitting while the iron is hot. They see this like I just imagine like a gigantic like it's like a 3-headed monster, and it's like Steven's head in the middle, and then it's like Finn's head on the left or something, and maybe like. Well, maybe not Gumball, but maybe like Regular Show or something, and like the Regular Show head is dead, and like the Adventure Time head is like wheezing, and then like the Steven Universe show head is like sleeping every other second. Yeah. And like there's just like you just see like Nickelodeon and Disney XD just like throwing spears at this gigantic monster.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, Steven Universe is so weird because. They have those fucking Steven bombs.
I mean, it's like such a I don't know. People love the show though, so it's like I wonder if Cartoon Network, if they like, I don't know, if they could just like if they get enough like love from Steven Universe to keep doing shitty things, because that's what it feels like right now. Is that like
no, I think even Steven Universe is losing its luster.
Well, I think
just a little bit.
The thing is, I feel like the general like average cartoon fan is kind of not. They're not as into Steven Universe as they once were. Yeah, right. But the hardcore fans, they're gonna stick with that show no matter what they do. I feel like, I mean, even if they just have an episode where it's about Steven taking a shit, those motherfuckers will eat it up.
I guess the real question is, can Steven Universe be their number one show and carry the network?
That's true.
Or is it better as a complimentary show?
Yeah, because, right now it feels like, even while Cartoon Network has been dominating, they haven't had like a main show. They haven't had like a SpongeBob.
Well, I think you could argue that Adventure Time was for a while.
I feel like it was to an extent, but it petered out pretty quickly. I feel like while Steven Universe was coming up and a regular show was starting to get more traction, and Gumball was, Adventure Time sort of died away and sort of just became another support show, really. Yeah, right. So you felt like you had these 4 pretty good shows.
Yeah, that like just because you have like high quantity of them. You have 4 shows, which is more than most.
And relatively diverse. 2 comedies, 2 action.
I guess
comedies.
you have to kind of include Teen Titans Go. I think it is popular among kids and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They wouldn't keep showing it over and over again if they weren't getting views off of it somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's kind of the problem, is that when you cut down these other shows and you don't necessarily replace them. Like, I guess We Bare Bears is there, but...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that show completely. You know, I was really excited for it because I thought they looked really cute and everything, and I really liked the design for the main characters. But yeah, it does feel like people are talking about it less and less, so I don't know.
Have you seen, like, a video on it?
No, I haven't. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, so just, like... Yeah, it's like you need... I feel like you need your number one show. Like, you need something to base everything else off of. And, you know, for Nickelodeon, SpongeBob, it will be SpongeBob forever, I guess. Unless...
Even once, you know...
Unless Loud House really is, like, really good and does, like...
You know, in the Hindu religion, there's, like, this... part of, like, the, religion is that the world, you know, everything gets, it's like a lot about reincarnation. So it's like the world, this is our third universe in the religion. The universe has been destroyed and recreated twice already. The Nickelodeon is going to have SpongeBob into the next universe. You know, Lord Shiva is going to come down and destroy fucking everything, but it's still going to be there somehow. Yeah, right. There's still going to be Nickelodeon, and there's still going to be, you know, SpongeBob. They're still going to be shitting out new SpongeBob seasons.
Yeah, and then just rerunning the old episodes that people actually like. Yeah, so... yeah, like, who knows? Like, and then with Disney, they have... I think Star is their big one right now.
Yeah, I mean, they had Gravity Falls, but that's done, so I guess that Star is sort of...
I mean, yeah, it's got a lot of traction.
They also... Wait, who has a Miraculous Ladybug?
Oh... Well, it was Nickelodeon. Well, they only distributed it because it's like a French.
Yeah, I know it's French.
But now it's like Netflix.
Oh, really?
It's going to be released like in December.
Okay, never mind then. Because I remember that getting some buzz.
I mean, that has like worldwide buzz.
Really? Yeah. It's like bigger around the world.
I mean, it's big here, but like, yeah. I think
bigger, you know, it's kind of a worldwide known show. It's weird because...
Yeah. I mean, they're making a fucking live action movie eventually.
Really?
Like, who knows, like, if it's like top tier live action or like bottom tier.
Yeah, they did that with Code Lyoko too, which was another French kind of anime inspired show. I really liked that show when it was out on Cartoon Network, but I don't remember much about it now. Yeah. That's one of those shows that I feel kind of weird about. Like I think about it and it's like so impossible to describe, but like I remember it and it like makes me feel weird. It's like a disturbed nostalgia. I don't know.
That's weird.
It's like I just I feel like there was like it's like, you know what it is? It's like when you see like I watched this Tenchi Muyo movie, which is an anime, and it's like an ecchi, so it's not quite hentai. But there is this, I have to watch this movie again at some point. There's a scene where this girl is like licking this guy, like he's asleep, and she's like licking his chest, and like that, like I watched that when I was like 8, and it's like stuck in my mind. It's such like a weird like whoa, like what the fuck is going on?
Well, now we know like, why you have your issues.
And it's like, but like Code Lyoko is like in that same, like it gives me that same feeling too for some reason.
But why though? It's like it's a pretty good
show.
I
know. It's like the only sexual scene I even remember at all was there was like an episode where the virus or whatever it is like, it's like making this room really hot, and Yumi has to like take off her like shirt. It's not even like she gets down to her bra. She just has like a tank top on. But then like the one guy like looks away. I don't know. Maybe it's because it dealt with like romance and stuff that it's like in that same section of like my nostalgia. But that's weird.
Seriously. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Yeah, the weird thing about Miraculous is that like it kind of bursts onto the scene, whereas like it's only like one season and it's been on like a year-long hiatus. But it's just like it's not like 2 or 3 seasons of like a good show that has slowly gotten popular. It's like it's just suddenly there and everyone's talking about it.
Yeah. Well, I think we've talked for a lot more than I expected when we didn't have any topics in mind.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. San Diego Comic-Con,
And Pokemon Go. They're doing legendaries soon. This is the last thing we'll talk about real quick. I was you haven't played in a while, but do you know about the raid feature?
No.
So they've changed gyms completely, and now there's this thing called raids where they have this super strong Pokemon at a gym, and you have to get in a group of like a bunch of people and fight it. And we just
That's better, yeah.
Yeah, it's good because I think it fosters the social aspect, which is, in my opinion, I will say that I don't think Pokemon Go is a great game or anything. As someone who enjoys it consistently, I will say that I think it is good, but I'll say that it's only good when you have people to play it with. It's kind of, I feel like, it's kind of like an MMO to an extent, where it's like, if you don't have a guild or people to play an MMO with, it's a lot worse. Yeah, right. And it feels the same way with this, with Pokemon Go. But I was just at a raid, and it's a Tyranitar. Man, we waited so long, and there was like 18 people, which is like how many people you need to take down a Tyranitar in a raid. 18 people sitting out this little neighborhood. The guy comes over and asks, "What are you guys doing?" That happens a lot, actually. But yeah, right. My phone fucking glitched out while I was in the waiting room to fight the Tyranitar, and I didn't get to fight it, and I'm so mad. Oh my god, I could have. And you get to catch it afterwards, so it's like, I already have a Tyranitar, but still, it's just really.
Team instinct, though.
Yeah, everyone there was. I think there were some others, but it was a good portion of instinct. There were some. Like, I was asking around. This guy's like, "I'm Valor," and then this other guy was like, "I'm Mystic." I was like, "Boo! Like, get out of here, boy!" But yeah. Now that I've talked about a game that no one has played in a year, I think that's where you end CRINGECAST.
So, yeah, like no one cares about Pokemon Go, Mr. Loser.
I mean, hey, it was on YouTube's trending page. People were even like, I haven't played this in a while, but they're bringing legendaries. It's kind of late, but I might play it a little bit just for these legendaries.
At least like in the summer when it's like. Okay,
I mean, it's a cool idea too, because like think about that for a Tyranitar, which is a 4-star rate, which is the highest so far. Okay, for a 4-star raid, you have like 4. You have to have at least like 18, 16, 15. Well, we'll just say like 10 people. Actually, I'm exaggerating. We'll say you need at least 12 people. For a 5-star, when you're catching a Zapdos, imagine how many people are gonna have to be around. You're gonna need at least like 20 people just fighting this one Pokemon. It's so weird too, because it's just 20 people going like this in a circle, just tapping on their phones.
Yeah, that's stupid. I mean, the regular way of playing Pokemon is just like so simple. You press an attack.
I don't know.
The attack.
It's one of those things where I feel like if you compare it too much to the original, of course you're gonna be disappointed. Yeah, right. But that's just me. I like the game, but I will say that it's only fun if you have a group to play with. I will say that. So, yeah, that's where we gotta end this. I gotta edit this and shit. I gotta sleep in an hour. I gotta get up at.
Oh yeah, okay.
I gotta get up at 4. Not too bad for you, but.
Yeah, right. Well, I've just started a job where I have to work, early in the morning at 4 o'clock for like 5 days a week. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, so shut up about that. Luckily, I will be able to sleep in unless my other job, unless they spring something on me. But no, I plan on getting very, very drunk tonight.
Good luck. So, yeah, we'll see you guys later. All 0 of you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, just go Nicktoons, fuck Cartoon Network, and good luck Disney.
I'm still rooting for you, Cartoon Network. You'll have a real cringy day.
All right.